Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Deluxe Gamescast. It is Thursday, August the 24th. Is this the last podcast of the month, or am I fucked up?
I think there's a 31st.
Is there a 31st? Okay. All right. So we're getting there. We're getting close. Guys, can you believe that we're almost at fucking September?
No, I try not to.
Like, holy shit. Where the fuck did this year go?
It burned away along with the
I don't want to think about that. Don't make me.
For everybody who is in chat and everybody who is listening, our friend Josh is back on the show tonight.
I'm going to interrupt you really quickly. Guys, we have an announcement. Excitebike 64 coming to Switch Online.
Nintendo gets us again.
For real?
Wait, hold on.
1 minute ago, Mario 64. Mario Excitebike 64.
Oh, no, yeah, legit. 1 minute ago.
Why would I lie about that? Why would I lie about that?
No, that is
why
exactly
would I
1 minute.
Why would I pull Excitebike? Of all of the games, why wouldn't I pull
I'm going to be 100%
Excitebike 64, too.
If you were going to make one up, I don't know that there would have been a funnier choice. I'm going to be real.
Guys, Beetle and Volkswagen Beetle Adventure is coming to Switch Online.
Beetle Adventure
Buck
Racing.
Bumble is coming to the Switch Online.
Fuck Buck Bumble.
Right about now, it's time to rumble the biggest
Where the fuck is
Buck
Quest
Bumble.
64, you motherfuckers?
Guys,
Quest 64 was a bad game.
Katana is coming to the Nintendo
Bro.
64.
You don't no. All my fucking community
Charles
will
Martinet
say
is gonna make you his bitch. Okay.
Bro, San Francisco Rush 2049 is coming to.
when you boot the game up, CJ, it says "suck it down."
don't put that devil magic on me.
It's gonna happen.
My community will
my
just fucking
favorite
get
part
it's
about
all
that
about
guy,
that.
Is the fact that somebody felt the need to trademark "suck it down," like that was going to be a phrase that people were fighting over. Like, fuck,
It'll be the thing.
all right,
Yeah.
we gotta nail "suck it down" now. Like, we gotta get that so nobody else can use it. Oh.
Okay, I apologize for derailing.
No, that's on Nintendo, and really it's on us, right? Because Nintendo has decided that they're gonna watch us and derail us at the beginning of every podcast with an update.
We're the first podcast to report it, though.
We
Guys,
are.
we're the first podcast to
We really are the
Breaking
internet's
fucking-
breaking news for
If you're
Nintendo
getting your news
updates.
from us, if you're getting your news from us, first of all, I'm sorry. Second, you're welcome. You're welcome. We're gonna start selling supplements now. We're gonna go the whole shebang. Let's do it, guys.
Jesus Christ.
Supplements.
All right. For serious though, Josh, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on, y'all. I'm doing good.
I feel like it's been a while since we've seen you on here.
It's been a few months.
You know, in honor of Josh, in honor of a certain orange fucker getting his mugshot tonight, I'm going to say that Josh came to me today with tears in his eyes. He said,
Did he go Ruth Conda forever?
He said, "Sir, please be on the podcast tonight, sir." And I said, "I don't know if I can give you an endorsement for that, Josh. I don't know. You're way down in the podcast polls." And he said, "Sir, if you let me on the podcast tonight,
This will be the greatest podcast.
And I told him, I said, "Look, it's the greatest
podcasts.
This is the greatest podcast, it may be in the history of the world." You know, the Romans used to listen to this podcast. Everybody says that. Everybody
That's
says
how old
that.
you are, John. Yes, I know.
What's that?
That's how old you are. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And so I graciously allowed Josh to be on tonight.
You did, and I'll appreciate it forever. In my dying moments.
Oh, that's sad.
I will.
That mugshot is really cunty, though.
It's fucking hilarious, dude. He's doing the blue steel. He's like.
They fucking indicted a Cheeto, guys. We
Like-
won.
Can't believe it.
Hashtag resistance. Hashtag I'm with her. Hashtag let's fucking go.
Everybody on the right is like, "Oh, it's instantly iconic." I'm like, "Yeah, not in the way that you
This is a
want,
great
man."
night to be like an ironic and burnt out leftist,
Well, here's
man.
the problem. No. This is still pretty low on like tweet because we've been waiting, right? Like it's like way.
This
under
isn't Queen Elizabeth dying. Not yet.
This isn't
Right.
him getting COVID. This isn't RBG dying.
Right.
This isn't 9/11/21. it's like way below. It's like way lower. Something else has to happen. Giuliani was a better.
Giuliani was a better drop for sure.
That's
yeah,
because Giuliani always looks like a guy wearing a Giuliani skin suit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Welcome to SCGC, your premier fucking political shit talking podcast.
Rachel Amado's coming on in like 10 minutes. We're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna have Jen Psaki.
I would unironically take both of them on the podcast.
We know. With love.
We have yet to purge the last little bit of liberal from John. It's okay. We're getting there.
Okay.
We've almost turned him into a space communist.
All right, guys, video games. Let's talk about them. What do we got?
Yeah, we got a busy week, man. It's a good week.
Where's Jeff?
Jeff said if he can make it at all, he'd be a little late.
There's an echo.
Okay.
There's a bad echo. I think it might still be your speakers, John.
There's no way. There's no way it is.
Let me see if it's me.
Pigs in space.
I don't know. It's gone now. Whatever. But yeah, so we got some. Oh, hang on. Josh, what's up, bud? You frozen
I
in
muted
fear.
and then I unmuted. I was trying to see if it was me, but like
I'm not hearing
think
it anymore.
It's the same. So okay.
Anyway, it's over.
I
with.
thought
We're
Josh
good for
was
now.
like caught between worlds for a minute.
See,
like,
John's echoing, so it can't be him.
Penis.
This is
10,
great
15.
podcast content, guys. I'm
Right.
glad we're doing
Number
this.
one, top
Let's
tier.
just move on from it.
I don't hear any echoes at all.
Well, that's a sign. So, let's. God damn, that is really distracting. But we're just gonna have to deal with it. We do have some news tonight. We have some actual, serious, honest to goodness news tonight. We've had a couple of weeks that have just been the Baldur's Gate show. But before we get on to the actual news, let's talk about what everyone's been playing. Let's start with Josh, because you haven't been on in a long time.
Right. So I got like 15 things. So I've been deep, just elbow deep in Final Fantasy 14 because
That's my boy. That's my man.
So a couple months back, like I really devoted to putting Final Fantasy 14 as like part of my regular streaming. So on the weekends we do weekending in Eorzea, I call it. We go through the storyline. We did all of Heavensward. We did all of Stormblood. We just a couple weeks ago, I finally got to start Shadowbringers, which, let me tell you, folks, without spoiling anything, if you're interested in playing but never knew, Shadowbringers is a whole lot of, well, at least it can't get any worse, and then you're in a corner crying. So that's good. But I've been doing a lot of leveling and things like that to prep.
Content.
Outside of that, though, recently I actually started replaying because I've been meaning to, and I waited until Square did their summer sale to get it like at a reasonable price. I now have 11 doesn't count, but outside of that, everything 1 through 12 on here. Final Fantasy 1 through 12. This is a portable Final Fantasy.
Sickos.jpg. Let's
It's
fucking
so
go. Because I own 4,
We've turned him
6.
We've turned him into a fucking Final Fantasy person. I knew it.
It's because I own 4, 6, and 10 on mine, and I'm
You'll get the
close
rest
to
on there.
fully.
Now
I
you're
will
like me.
eventually.
No, but
Now
wait
you're
until
liking me.
listen, but legitimately wait until the sales because they're basically always half off.
There's no
and
reason
it's
for me
like,
to pay $50 for any game like.
and
that.
it's
There's
like, and Square, like, I will be legit. They do it like every 2 to 3 months.
They do. Yeah. It's not that
It's
big of a
constant enough. But I recently restarted diving back into FF12, the Zodiac Age, and man, I mean, I'm granted it's on OLED, but I keep like, it always gets me how good shit plays and looks on here. And with FF12, how good that game holds up.
Oh my
Like-
god, yes.
As
Shut
far
up,
as like
John.
the cutscenes, John, like granted, some of the faces in some of the scenes, like, yeah, you could tell it's PS2 era, though it looks good.
And on a Switch,
It's
it
not
probably looks
terrible,
incredible, right?
But the
Yeah.
cutscenes,
I mean, the
those
art is
fucking
one of the
hold up.
weaker Final Fantasies, but
I think
I
art. No, I think the art direction.
disagree,
I
but
think
the thing
the
is,
performances. I think the world design are all just out of this fucking world. right?
Correct. I love that they had like a bit of a Mediterranean flair with the world
Yes.
building.
Yes,
It
very
makes it stand out
intentionally.
and be unique. I think, like, I'm not going to go into a whole thing and derail. 12's biggest issue basically is like it builds up so much, and there are a lot of things where it just does not nail the payoff.
Hey, it's almost like
off.
that's the Final Fantasy fucking way to do things.
100%.
I love the series,
100%.
but very few of these games stick the ending.
But
I mean,
do like a lot.
I would disagree with that.
Anyway,
I would disagree with. I think there are Final Fantasy games that definitely don't land the way they should. Final Fantasy V, I think, is an example of that. For as good as that game is. Final Fantasy.
we can't do this.
10. I don't like the ending of Final Fantasy 10. I don't.
My first podcast back in ages. I'm tired.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying. Look, no, I've
last
literally
time-
got my own Japanese copy right over here, Josh.
Yeah, remember
I've
the
got
time
my own
I
Japanese
played
copy
and reviewed a Final
right over
Fantasy,
here.
a mainline Final
I got it
Fantasy
right
game?
over here,
I
Josh. I
did.
can pop mine out
hurt
too.
myself
I mean, if we're like, if we're pulling out our carts, Josh, I'll pull my carts out. I'm
I'd
just
really
saying.
like everyone to keep their cards exactly where they
Let
are.
me see that big stick. Okay.
You want to see that big fat card I got?
Hey, bro.
Hey,
Hey, let me see that penis.
Josh, you want to see that big fat card? I'll pull that big fat card out right now.
No,
Blow the dust out of it.
we gotta. This is an unlistenable podcast already. Our first actual news-heavy show, and we're just a bunch of buzzed idiots.
Come blow the dust out of my
Derek's-
cartridge, bitch.
Derek's
Like,
gonna be looking at the podcast audio afterwards with just a fucking cigarette,
I'm gonna do. Here's the
a
thing.
drink in the other hand, and just openly
This is just
weeping.
punishment for not being here.
Just
He has to take care of this audio.
openly weeping.
I'm gonna do exactly two things with the audio for this episode. Are you ready? I'm gonna fucking run a compressor to get all the peaks down, and then I'm gonna
You're
run.
export.
And then I'm going to run a shortened silence to get any silence, which there probably fucking isn't, over 1 second down to 1 second. And then I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the end.
Anyway,
Where
welcome
do
to
we
Inside
cut?
Baseball. With SDGC. We talked about Cox, Trump's indictment, and this. Congrats, guys. We haven't talked about a video game.
yeah, I believe in the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Cox, Trump's indictment, and Park.
Right.
Do you think? Do
That's
you
been a
think
great
this
show.
is
Thank you. Good night.
why
Good
people
night.
have stopped
Good night,
taking us
everybody.
seriously as a
Suck my
podcast?
balls. Bye-bye.
Who took us seriously?
Who
We're not going to
started-
be up for Choice Gamer at the Game Awards. And
No.
if we are, this should be our clip.
Y'all are
Anyway.
genuinely some of my great friends. I truly love all you. I'm being dead ass.
Oh, we've got the butt coming.
Who started taking you seriously?
Yeah,
We got invited to a lot of
Who?
parties at one point.
I didn't take you guys seriously, and I wanted to be on the fucking thing.
Hey,
I
has
invited
nothing
you
to
guys
do
on my
with
fucking
me.
podcast.
Good point. Good point. We're just clowns. Anyway,
That's part of our appeal. We're just fucking idiots. Anyway, Josh, what else have you been playing?
Outside of that, just honestly kicking around time. I've been playing a lot of Vampire Survivors
yeah,
on the Switch.
fucking.
I have
am-
not played that yet.
You
It's-
should, John. You
John,
would.
it is so.
I wouldn't see
simple.
you for 2 weeks.
It is so simple, and yet it's very Hades-like in that it's that, okay, just one more game real quick. Okay, just one more game real quick. Okay, just one more. Fuck, it's 1:30 a.m.
I mean, I
Yeah.
never played Hades, but I do understand what you mean.
That one
Play
more run
Vampire
is done.
Survivors because I'm not kidding, John. You would disappear off the face of the earth for 2 whole weeks.
I mean, I
It's
kind of
so
already
good.
had with Baldur's Gate.
It's worse.
And then tomorrow is you're all gonna just not see me for a couple.
I know, Armored Core. Ugh, I want to play it so bad, but as I mentioned to you, I've got
Right.
a game I'm reviewing that I need to
Right.
get finished up. Ugh.
But yeah, no. So that's that. I'm not trying to dive too deep. I haven't. Well, for the last few days, I haven't been trying to dive too deep. Oh, and Street Fighter 6. Just learning and getting back into my fighting game roots. I used to be big time fighting game guy, and so I'm kind of feeling it. Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1, I think, are gonna maybe bring me back there a bit.
Yeah, I think they're gonna fix me.
It's gonna bring me back to that point of where no, I know about iframes and priority matchups. Why? Don't fucking ask and just accept it.
Oh yeah, wait until I've seen a whole bunch of fighting game people have to get introduced to Negative Edge because of settings in Mortal Kombat 1, and it's I don't
I'm sorry,
know.
what did you say?
Negative Edge? Do you know what Negative Edge is?
Yeah, it's a fucking emo band from the early 2000s.
Incorrect, but
It is the evil twin
It's the opposite
brother
of edging.
of the guitarist from U2.
Oh
Like-
my god, that is so good. That was good.
It's
think he's the
Earth 2
bassist, but-
Edge. It's the Earth 2 version
Right,
of the guitar.
negative
It's
edge.
Edge's Bizarro.
It's basically like it's like the end of Scott Pilgrim when he has to fight Nega Scott. He's like, oh my god, it's Negative Edge.
Negative Edge. Negative Edge, if I remember,
plays the guitar in reverse.
Right.
Negative edge is when an input only registers when you release the button rather than when you press it. In other words, pressing the button doesn't do anything. It's when you release it. And that is like a simple thing that you can toggle in Mortal Kombat 1, and that is like a control design choice in certain games that
You played one
radically
yet,
changes.
Derek?
I have
played
not
it?
played 1 at all yet, and I want to so bad.
Derek, have you
mean-
ever had an Edge experience that you found negative?
So, can we move on?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1 looks good. Like,
Ask
again,
dude,
I'm not a
Mortal
fighting game
Kombat
fan,
1
but no, but man, this is
Mortal
my,
Kombat
this,
1 will fix me, dude.
Oh my god!
Bullshit!
You
It's
know-
gonna fucking break you.
It's gonna
That game's
break
gonna-
me.
No,
That game's gonna
here's
fucking break.
They're the
guys,
same thing in this
Yeah.
equation.
I waited. Like I went to like the midnight launch for Mortal Kombat 11. I'm all in. I'm
Yeah.
so in that like I'm debating. I'm just buying like the
This
$100 version.
entire
Oh,
entire NetherRealm reboot
Such-
has been
Oh my god!
fucking aces.
No.
John is
I'm not
John
a
is
fighting
about
game.
2/3 through the Mortal Kombat 9 story mode with me through
What a
streaming.
great game. What a
So
great
he's-
game.
I think he's paying zero attention, to be honest with you. So
Somebody-
that's
like-
not helping. But
Somebody in
need you to
chat said,
understand
"Yeah, I saw
with-
Negative Edge open for Taking Back Sunday in 2004."
Hey,
Fuck.
hey, don't fucking bring Taking Back Sunday into this. First of all, they didn't
Nope.
ask for any of that. Second
gotta
of
tell ya.
all, like to give you an idea on Mortal Kombat 9, I did all 300 fucking challenges in
Hell
the
yeah.
tower. No skips.
What do you want, like a medal or something?
No, I got an
wow,
achievement.
shut the fuck up, John.
I got an achievement. It's fine.
It's been very fun
And
watching.
I did it while I was still bugged, by the way, with that final fight.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's been fun watching me and John go through Mortal Kombat 9 story mode and like roasting all of the
happening.
Well,
still.
we're also just roasting all of the fucking women's costumes because they're so bad in 9.
I don't know.
Really?
Sindel's is really
It's
good.
rooted
X
deep
was-
in like the 90s.
Yeah.
X was where they finally were like, hold on, let's update
X grew
this
the
shit.
fuck up.
And then
Yeah.
11, they were like, let's keep going, and they nailed it.
11,
They nailed a lot of it.
11's
They
too
sure
slow, but that's a better balance between like X's like you
No,
know
character design.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
The girl
right.
designs.
Yes.
I got to tell you though, something's been really bothering me over the past few days,
Oh,
and
wow,
Derek and I were
Sindel.
talking about this
Don't
earlier.
know.
And I don't think new Sindel is Gilfy enough.
Keep my name out of your fucking mouths, guys.
I
You're
think that she's
confused.
Hollywood 58, right? Like, and I think that, and I mean that obviously in a complimentary way. But that
That's
does not
what you
look like
meant.
a
Okay,
that doesn't
I
look
thought
like
you
a
meant,
30.
I thought
No,
you meant
I mean
Hollywood
that-
50s, like in the like she existed in the 50s, and I'm like,
No, I
no.
mean like she looks like a 58-year-old Hollywood
Listen,
actress who
Marissa
has
Tomei
access
was
to
56.
yeah, exactly something like that, right? Because here's the
Okay,
thing:
I
Sindel
can
is not
see that.
passing for a 30-something, but she is passing for like a late 50s with all of the access to like the secret moisturizers they don't give the rest of us.
Super
You know what I
soldier
mean?
serum that they milk out of whatever in Hollywood.
I just
Sindel
realized
is
my
in
my
the
my
Susan
son is in
Sarandon
chat, so I
class.
So we
shouldn't
shouldn't
think
talk
like
about
Gilfy.
Sindel having the blowjobbiest lips get known to man.
My son is in chat, Derek. I just realized this,
So yeah,
but
You
it's
told
fine,
him
whatever.
about fellatio.
It's fine,
I'm
whatever.
not getting into that. But yeah, Sindel is in the Susan Sarandon class, and with that, the defense rests.
No, she's
That-
lower. She's no, she's in the Marissa Tomei class. That's different. She looks younger than Susan
Ooh.
Sarandon.
That Sindel
Sindel.
does?
CJ, regardless of which one, but
I'm
I'm
right.
saying regardless of which one would. That is my
yeah,
point.
Marissa Tomei
That
is
my
just
point.
it's
That
the
is my
same
point. With
it's
either
the
one.
it's the same
Would.
ladder, it's just earlier on the rungs.
That
than-
exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point.
So.
You'd be like, I don't know, she's not guilty enough. To
I
whom?
study this. Study.
To whom?
Anyway,
What the fuck were we talking about?
we've lost all
I
possible
don't
listeners.
know.
This is what we've been
You
playing.
know
What else have you
What
been
have we been playing?
What have
and
you
somehow,
playing?
And Mortal
I'm the
Kombat
only
is
one who's
something-
answered.
None of us have been. Well, here's the thing: I can't talk about Baldur's Gate again, and I can't talk about the other thing I'm playing. So,
Right.
like, you know,
What are you playing, Derek? Is it for like a review or some
It's
shit?
for a review, and I can't say shit.
You
so.
should break embargo for fun.
Can you
Let's
say
all
if
do
it's
that. Let's
good?
go around the room and break embargo
Can you
for
say
a
if it's
game.
good, Derek?
Okay,
It's
I'm going to
incredibly
break
good.
the embargo, everyone. Derek is playing Garfield Kart 2. Mondays are a bitch.
Really
taking
bold of
it
them to put that in the title.
They're taking it in a new direction. They're trying to bring in some new fans.
He kills Normal in this one, finally.
The fucking fatalities are crazy.
Where's my fucking lasagna, John?
Oh my god. But yeah, so I can't say what I've been playing.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Rar DK is correct. Garfield Kart 3. Because
Okay.
how can I forget there was a Garfield Kart 2?
There was?
Forgive me.
There was.
Let
Oh.
me
It's
tell you.
Assassin's Creed 2.
I
Garfield
streamed it
Kart.
once.
I know there are a lot of things. Just give me 15 seconds on this.
Grand Theft.
I want to
Lasagna.
know who is keeping these Garfield games in production. because
It's money
there's
laundering, dude.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be. There's literally one every year. Did you see Garfield Lasagna Party, the Mario Party ripoff?
What?
That's
It came out on
it's
my
real.
25th birthday.
It's real. It's a
fuck
Mario
off.
Party
No
ripoff.
way.
There's exactly
Yes.
4 characters.
I
There's
texted
exactly
you
one
about it.
board, and I think it's 40 mini games.
Is
No
Normal one of the
online
4?
play. Yes. No online play.
I'm sorry, lasagna. Hold on. You said it was called
Garfield
Lasagna Party?
Lasagna Party.
gotta
Wasn't
look
Garfield the one that had the pizza app that was only in Dubai?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want
Just
to
look
know
up Garfield pizza app,
who-
John.
Who is buying the Garfield games?
Me.
I just want to know. And you said money laundering. That
CJ's
has to be it.
bankrupting himself on
Like, is it
Garfield.
the video game version of the producers?
Yeah.
Is there a Max Bialy
Guys,
stock
no, actually, it's funny
behind
though.
all this?
No, I'm not buying these, but to tell you, even I believe I would, because for Christmas one year, Christine got me a Garfield calendar. So of all the people on this podcast who would buy
Holy shit,
the
it's real.
fucking Garfield
No,
games,
I love Garfield. Look, I'm the type of asshole who, like, I have the anthology books of like Sunday comics for several
right.
of them. I love that shit, and I love Garfield.
And I
He's
hate
more of a
Normal.
Bloom County kid, but
I can't. I'm not strong enough.
Can we stream a Garfield game? Let's do that. Let's stream Garfield Lasagna Party.
He ain't lying, man. This shit is real. It's real. Oh my god, those
Whoever's
It's real.
Dermal, whoever's Dermal gets shit thrown at them though. Whoever looks out and it gets Dermal, it gets like shit thrown at them.
Oh my god. It's real.
I call Odie because life always kicks me off the table. Anyway,
All right. I guess I'll go next. All I've been playing is Baldur's Gate 3. That's literally all I've been playing. So I have nothing more to say on that.
cool.
I have been playing nothing but Baldur's Gate.
What
I
is
am a
everyone
Baldur's
drinking?
Gate fan. CJ.
Dasani?
no, Budweiser, but you can't see it because the liberal media wants to hide it. the
Can't see it.
elites are hiding my Budweiser. I can't do a can check in this country.
You know, if it was a Bud Light, they'd let you show
They
it.
would let me show them,
Right.
right? Only in Brandon's America would they let me show a Bud Light.
Thanks a lot, Joseph R. Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. Anyway.
He actually doesn't mean.
Who's the president? Byron.
It just CJ just what I don't know why, but CJ just made me think of Alan from The Hangover. Like, you know, it's like
Oh yeah.
you can't masturbate on an airplane.
CJ
now that
actually
everybody's so
doesn't mean
sensitive
Joe
after
Biden when he
9/11.
says Brandon. He means Brandon Sanderson, the writer.
Thanks a lot, Bin
Right.
Laden.
Right.
I mean Brandon Ruth, delightful actor who played Superman not once but twice on two different.
Twice.
Oh,
Man of
twice.
Steel.
Anyway,
And he's got big junk.
He does.
That's not a joke.
Famously,
I know we
such
keep
a
bringing
massive
up
dick.
cocks.
They needed to CGI
know.
reduce his
5
dick.
minutes, bro.
Somehow I keep bringing up cocks. I'm starting to worry about what that says about
It's
me.
fine.
But
Don't overthink it.
God, hey,
Brandon
listen,
Root
guys,
has a-
I'm not
has a huge-
drinking.
has a huge-
I'm not drinking a
he's-
Bud
he's
Light
got a
here,
huge
right? I'm just trying to
I'm-
talk.
I'm
he
glad
packing?
this is the last time I'm getting invited, so
Yeah.
I'm just making
John-
the most of it.
Johnny's got the
Anyway.
fucking schmeat. That's all I know what to say, man.
No shit.
They had
John,
to
did you
CGI
not
reduce
know?
it.
Yeah, they were doing test filmings, and
Joseph
people
Brandon
were
has
like,
one, yes.
"It's literally distracting."
They had to CGI
They-
reduce, like the way they got rid of fucking Henry Cavill's mustache. They had to get rid of Brandon
They had
Roof's
to
humongous
shrink
dong.
it down. They were like, "It's literally distracting," and I'm like, "I want to see the test footage."
Yeah,
I
the
gotta be
next
real.
the next Superman has to have like a 6th finger on one hand so that they can
I'm-
continue the tradition of things they need to Photoshop out.
I'm just saying, I need to see the raw footage. I'm not gay. I'm just really curious.
I've seen he's big. I don't know what to tell you.
Like, I'm curious. I got to know what it was that it was distracting.
It was distracting.
Was it going down the leg? Was it straight out?
It's the same thing with I heard it's the same thing with Michael Fassbender. I heard Michael Fassbender has the same shit going on.
I heard Kylo Ren is ripped.
I heard Snoke is hung like a fucking donkey, dude. Cam says John Hamm is hammed.
You got the clappers, man. This is not...
DJ, what the fuck are you playing, dude?
This is supposed to be a news show.
It's supposed to be.
Anyway, I'm gonna preface this with some stuff I've been watching. Nothing relevant, so I'm not a scab or anything. Watching so much Star Trek: The Original Series, guys. I think I'm slightly excited for Starfield now, based on that, because now I want to live out my fantasy of being on the Enterprise and solving problems in some like incredibly complicated ways, but explain it in the most easy metaphors in the world. I've also been watching a lot of westerns, and that'll be relevant in a second, as you can see my background. I've been browsing through Max's TCM section. I watched Stagecoach today. Tomorrow, I'm pissed that Unforgiven's not streaming anymore because I wanted to rewatch it for the longest time. But I've been going through the Criterion last month had a bunch of Anthony Mann and Jimmy Stewart westerns, so I'm watching it, right? And I can hear my fucking echo. Last week, Friday, I got a review code for Red Dead Redemption, the port on PS4. And I'm very happy because, not to get too inside baseball, game critics doesn't necessarily get Rockstar codes all that often. So I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very happy for it. So
it's just like a glorified port, though, right?
It
like
really. So we're gonna do it like this. I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Appropriate.
Nice, sick reference, bro. Sick reference. Your
anyway,
references are on point.
The good. It holds up like as a game and as like a vessel for its story. It is like still a masterpiece. Like it's incredible.
I maintain that John Marston is still one of my favorite protagonists in any game.
It's funny though, because like Rockstar's thing is like they weren't like doing like a pastiche of like a bunch of westerns. They made a good like revisionist western in like the larger canon, right? Red Dead 2 is a little bit better in that like its influences can't be picked out as easily. I guess its easiest influence would be something like Heaven's Gate, but like in a more meta sense where it's more ambitious and like easy to fail as opposed to like anything in the story. But like Red Dead 1 is like, oh cool, it's basically kind of like deconstructing what violence is and what redemption is, right? So it's in that way it's a lot like Unforgiven. John Marston is a perfect he's basically the William Hunt, I forgot what his name is in Clint Eastwood's character in Forgiven, but he's basically that character. This guy who doesn't want to be violent, who wants to like retire and just be alone and not do it, and is forced into a life of like death and destruction. So its story is great. Its gameplay, it's interesting going back to it, especially after playing Red Dead 2 so recently, where everything is so much slower, everything is so much more precise, it's so much more realistic. This game is very much like, oh, you just get on, in and out. It's very Xbox 360-ish. Animations are still great. Voice acting is still great. It's in 4K, right? The resolution's bumped up a bit. Even though the frame rate's not, it still runs pretty well. And everyone was saying, well, if you have the Xbox version, it shouldn't matter. This version's like a little bit better in that regard. And so like it's still a good game. Like I still find myself like on like what do you call it? Like I'm on a loop now, right? Where I'm walking to like my next mission, then something distracts me and I go do that for like 20 minutes and then I get back on the trail to like my next mission. So like the best example I can give you is early on I'm riding my horse to go talk to someone. I see a rabbit on like the road and then I notice that one of my hunting missions is like, oh, kill X number of rabbits. Okay, so I shoot it and I keep going to my mission. Before I get to like the place I have to go talk to this person, I see like a golden jackalope, or what it's a mythical creature with like horns, little rabbit looking with horns, and I kill it, and then I get like however much like in like my hunting rank. It's things like that, right? Or like another one where a guy comes up to me and is like, I need a ride. They robbed me, And when I go pick him up, he pushes me off my horse and rides off, and I have to go chase after him. So it's stuff like that that I feel like a lot of open world games are still kind of catching up with. Because we've seen it, right? With Bethesda's games, it's like you get all that dynamic stuff, but you're not getting a cohesive story, like holding it together, right? Rockstar balances that out perfectly, where it's like you have this world that's alive, but it kind of comes back to like a cohesive story. It's all done better with that too. But for a 360 game in 2010, it's impressive. Obviously, we all know how it got there because they overworked their staff. But it's great. So the bad is like, again, they could have done so much more. Obviously, they could. I mean, they throw in the DLC with it, which is cool. They give you all the cheats like immediately. Like you don't have to like type in whatever fucking code. You can just get them all. You know, they updated everything. It's cool that it's available. It's on Switch. I'm playing it on PS5, and I hear the Switch port is just as good. But that's really it, right? It's still 30 frames per second. It's not full like 4K because it's only on PS4. And then the ugly is like, it's that price point, $50 for this game. You can buy it for $20 on Xbox. And it plays on Series X in full 4K. That's insane to me. I get it. Rockstar's kind of pushing like how much they get away with. I don't know how well those GTA, like that GTA collection sold in 2021, but I have to assume it sold well enough, right? Just based on hype alone. But also it's on PC, which is also insane to me because this game missed out. PC players missed out on it. Like initially.
Wait, so the Red Dead Redemption port is on PC?
It's not.
Oh, okay. I thought it wasn't, which is weird to me.
Right, yeah, sorry. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not, which is crazy to me. Again, like they missed like the easiest opportunity. I guess they just can't get it running. I don't know what it is. But again, like I'm in a weird spot, right? Where I still think the game's a masterpiece. I still think it's impressive. I still think it's like I'm obsessed with it. Like I'm still playing it. I'm so in love with it again that I re-downloaded Red Dead 2 because I'm going to replay it immediately after because I have nothing else to play until the Korea Motor Fest is out. I'm all in, but I still see those problems, right? It's the most conflicted I've ever been about like a new release in like the longest time, where it's like, what do you do when something's still really good and holds up, but the pack, like everything surrounding it's kind of messy, right? It's that weird thing. But yeah, like I still love it. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Maybe if you've never played it, you know, give it a shot. It's like one of the greatest games ever made. If you played it before and you want it on Switch, I think it's more worth it than buying it on PS4. I don't know how it looks on an OLED. I'm sure it looks incredible. I opted to get a PS4 review code because it's a long game and I want to play it like on a nice TV. But yeah, Red Dead, good game. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought? I'm looking forward to Baldur's Gate though. Looking forward to Baldur's Gate.
You should.
Dude,
it's
so
on PS5.
good.
I am all. I wonder how it's going to translate, right? Like I really do, because I didn't.
I've been playing it exclusively on Gamepad because I've been playing split screen with my wife.
Really, and it's good.
And it works great.
I think it's like Divinity felt cumbersome a little bit.
Yeah, it did. It did absolutely.
The gamepad works, but I will tell you, I saw someone run into one puzzle. And I'm not going to try and like get too spoilery, but it's like the whole idea was like there was nodes and each one had like, it was listed like,
yeah.
And they literally had to put down the gamepad and switch to keyboard and mouse.
I do wonder if they
would not work.
Interesting.
Innately refused to work, and I was like, And then I saw a second person get on that. So I'm sitting here like, I'm sure they will have, because it's like along the direct line of play, I'm sure they will have that worked out by the release. But it was minorly concerned.
I just skipped that puzzle and picked a lock. So
that may be what they tell. They may just put a note there. Bitch, just go around.
Yeah.
Go get a Astarion and go around.
Shit broke.
You waited for the PS5 version. Do something.
PS5 version. There's a box there with a lockpick, and it just says "Get Astarion."
Yeah. Don't know what to tell you, man.
I'm looking forward to that. Like, I can't wait to see like what that, because I do like the idea of like, oh, it's this big game full of like, you know, a lot of freedom, but it's also held together by like a good story, right?
Oh yeah. And excellent characters, very like old BioWare magic. I feel like
I've never played an old BioWare game. The only BioWare game I played is KOTOR and Mass Effect 1, right? So it's like
unfortunate news. BioWare will never make another game like that ever again. So
right.
My son has a question. When does it come out on PS5?
September 5th.
I don't fucking know.
September 6th.
Okay.
September
Why'd you
6th.
ask if you knew?
And it's
Because I wanted to
coming
call his
to.
question out, you fucking
Shit.
asshole.
I have the segue.
Honestly, it's
What's your segue, Derek?
Let Josh go first.
Oh no, because let me get this in because it's actually I know y'all have been talking Baldur's Gate for weeks. I don't.
But you gotta.
But
you
this
gotta.
is this is actually a tangential thing, and I was talking with a friend, and I wanted to know y'all's thoughts. And this is just kind of like a thought exercise. Prior to Baldur's Gate coming out, I would bet every dollar I ever owned that come the Game Awards, best game of the year, Diablo 4 is on the listing.
Yes.
Do you think the success of Baldur's Gate?
I don't think there's.
is
I think
gonna
if you
knock
got to
it
pick
off the
5,
list?
let me put it this way: Baldur's Gate is knocking something off this list.
And they're both
Oh, Jedi.
CRPGs.
Jedi. Oh, it's knocking Jedi. It's knocking Jedi. Jedi doesn't have a chance. Jedi Survivor does not have a chance.
It's because that they're both CRPG. If it was 2 action games, I wouldn't care. Because
No.
they're CRPGs,
but
I'm
I think
sitting here like,
Diablo. I think Diablo was already fighting for its spot,
because
and I think
of
it's
everything
done.
that
yeah.
happened with season 1 and people
Yeah.
getting real pissed at the changes, I'm sitting here like, I don't know. I think that
I
Baldur's
think-
Gate said, you can go sit on the
I think
bench.
the
over
critics-
You know
there."
what?
I think the
I think
critics
that's
that liked
true,
it
and I
Are
think
going
it's
They
to
will.
go for it anyway. No.
And it well no,
Yeah.
I mean it may come up in a critics vote, like or on an audience vote, and it
Yeah.
will definitely show up in like best role playing game.
Right.
But as far as game of the year, I just
No.
I
Which
think
is
Baldur's
funny
Gate
because
will be there
Hogwarts
and
Legacy
Diablo
is still
won't.
going to be there somehow, just because of industry money. I promise you that
Hogwarts
will be in
will
the
get
5.
it before Jedi Survivor. I'm willing to bet.
I
am
promise
willing
you,
to bet.
Hogwarts Legacy's forgettable 8 out of 10 ass, even with the industry like pumping money into like astroturfing that game, it's still going to end up in the top 5 for the Game
And
Awards.
Sound of
I
Freedom will get
promise
this
you.
picture.
I will
I'm not
never-
happy about that, but I'm just
No,
saying.
it's true. I'll never forget the fucking
Yeah.
the
It'll be
review
like
I read
that-
was like the game's broken. A lot of it has issues. The progression's not great. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. All
What
right.
are you playing? What do you want to play?
I haven't been playing, but I got to transition because we've been talking about Baldur's Gate, and actually an update around Baldur's Gate has caused a major change in the industry.
An update?
Huh?
What's the update?
The update is so Baldur's Gate for a while, like we knew, okay, it's launching on PC first, it's launching on PlayStation 5, a week or two later, and it's launching on Xbox. We don't know.
At
right?
some point.
With the major problem being clearly that Series S was having trouble getting the game to run.
I'm gonna buy this fucking console.
We got an update that the Baldur's Gate 3 will be coming to Xbox Series S and X this year. And the reason why it's finally going to work out is that the Xbox Series S version, on top of being the usual like lower resolution, lower frame rate, slightly lower asset quality, etc., is also not going to have the split screen co-op function. And this is the first time that Microsoft has broken that parity clause between the Series S and Series X. Remember that up until this point, a big point of the Series S and Series X was if you want a game on the Series X, you have to put it on the Series S. They are one system in two different power configurations. You can't skip one. You can't nerf it. Like, obviously, it's going to run at lower quality, but, like, you can't make, like, the Nintendo Wii version of FIFA and put it on. You know what I mean? And it's the first time that they've done that. And I think that's potentially huge, both in what that means for, like, Xbox's position as a platform, but also like what that means for Xbox hardware going forward from here for the back half of this generation.
So what I think happened is Microsoft stepped in, right? Larry
Clearly.
announced that like they can't. Larry announced like, oh, we can't get this working yet. We're gonna have to delay it. Microsoft steps in. They're like, all right,
We're not going to
what can we
miss
do?
Baldur's Gate this
What
holiday
can we do?
season.
Like,
Yeah.
what can we do to make it work? Right? They probably pumped their own resources and try to make it work too. Right? Probably got like whatever R&D team like get in there and like, what do we do? And they figured out they couldn't. I think they're gonna phase this console out at some point, which sucks because I have one and I'm kind of.
I think
I'm
they're
more-
going to do more of this.
You think?
I think moving forward, what they're going to do, what it's going to be is, because think about it, like Jedi, you brought up Jedi Survivor a minute ago. Jedi Survivor ran on the S. It can run games. They'll make cutbacks
Well,
to
what kind-
still allow
but
the
here's the thing.
experience.
Jedi Survivor is still the same game. You get what I'm saying? It's still Baldur's
But
Gate
what
3,
I'm saying is, so
by
I think
effect,
they're
isn't the
I
same game
think
now.
they're gonna let people know, hey, the Series S, we're marketing it for people who want to save money. That includes if you're trying to do multiplayer or something like that, you should probably consider a Series X or something along those lines. I think they're gonna keep, because one of the things, like at this point, Microsoft's game plan is not. They're not playing the same game Nintendo or Sony
Right.
is. Sony and Nintendo are playing games about, we need you to buy our hardware and get into our software ecosystem.
yeah.
Microsoft's game plan is this shit is a Game Pass box.
Yeah.
We want you in Game Pass Ultimate, and that's all we really give a shit about. So I think they'll be willing to make the cuts, because they're still going to say, well, listen, hey, you won't be able to do split screen with Baldur's Gate. You know how we're going to make that up to you? By the fact that you have access to 200 other games, and they're coming to you every month, and new releases are coming out for free.
Yeah.
So
I mean-
I think that they're just going to continue that path. I do feel they'll phase back on the S before the X and before we shift to a next generation further down the line, but I don't think we're at that point yet.
I don't think we've seen a game yet, right, that simply can't run on the Series S. Right? Like, this is the first time where it's been an issue of, like, we can't get it to run, but with a compromise, we can fix this. And that compromise is split screen co-op, which I think is like an integral part of Baldur's Gate's experience. I think if you get this game on console or I mean anywhere, like, you owe it to yourself to play with a friend, with a spouse, with a family member.
In person.
You know. Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy though.
But
You know what I'm
like,
saying?
to cut that feature is a big deal. But like, you can still play Baldur's Gate, and it's cross save compatible, right? And cross play,
So
correct?
if you buy well, I mean, at the very worst, if you upgrade to a Series X, your saves are gonna like transfer. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly.
At the very worst, right? So it's like,
yeah,
I guess it's giving you that option. My fear is like, here's the thing though, and kind of on off topic, but it's like my fear is now like, we haven't seen a lot of games, especially Xbox exclusives. Like, no one's talking about the Series S version, right? And all our press stuff and everything, like Starfield, that looks great. How is that going to run on Series S realistically, right?
yeah.
All the footage we've seen on Series X is kind of whack already. People are complaining about how like the frame rate's you know, kind of dodgy. How
That's
it
a
looks.
BGS game. They knew what they were getting into.
But here's my thing. Fine, that's fine. But what about the Series S? What about the Series S? You know what I'm saying? Like, someone like
You're
me.
right. It's already kind of an afterthought in terms of like coverage.
So
You're right.
Here's my thing about that. At what point, like with this Baldur's Gate 3 news, at what point does the Series S become just an albatross around Microsoft's neck?
I think in a way, a lot of people were predicting it would. I think a lot of people were falsely saying it was going to be one from minute one, right? And that was obviously an exaggeration. I think a better question is the people who were saying, hey, like, there's no way this makes the whole generation. And I think that this is, I don't necessarily want to be like all slippery slope and shit, but I think that Baldur's Gate 3 is like the opening of the floodgates, because if you allow this, then it means Microsoft is willing to let games be different and lesser on Series S, other than just visually.
And that sucks.
So right now, like I said, there's no game that can't run on Series S that they need to cut a Series S version. What happens when we hit that point in like 2 years? Because I think
And
that
that's
point
where
will
I
come.
think they do the phase out. I think
Like
they will. I do think there will come a point where they'll say,
Like-
this is Series X/S, and then you will see a game that says
An asterisk.
Series X.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
There is no /S.
Like, here's where we go. Like what is it? Microsoft exclusives they're gonna push, right? So my fear is like, what is it? Forza Motorsport might be the last exclusive that like has pure console parity between the two, and then that's it.
I don't think it's that soon, TBH.
I don't know. First of all, they don't have any games coming out. Fucking consoles, like, you know, dead in the water. Anyway,
Xbox has no games. You heard it
Xbox
here.
has no games. PlayStation has no games. You know who has games? Fucking Switch.
Correct.
anyway, Nintendo's
Super
got
Mario
games.
Brothers Wonder, baby.
Let's fucking go. Game
Coming
of the
to
year.
a Series S near you.
The S stands for Switch. Anyway, it's so like that's my thing, right? Like, Microsoft's gonna keep pushing for their own stuff. Starfield is gonna run on duct tape on that console if it has to. Fable's gonna run on duct tape if it fucking has to. What else do they have on the horizon out that's like them only, right?
Perfect Dark isn't gonna come out. Like
That's that quad A game that's gonna come out on the fucking Xbox Series Y. I don't know.
yeah.
Like it's not gonna be on any fucking console in the future. But like third party stuff's already struggling. You know what I'm saying? Third party stuff's already like I would never want to like the Series S will never be my main console.
We are already finding that the power of the PS5 and Xbox Series X is not going as far as people thought it would.
Bummer, bro. $500 for a 4K player.
We are already running into like major limitations in this gen, and that's without the Series S as like, and that's a shame because the Series S is like an excellent box for what it is. Like it's great to come into a new generation and have like a reasonably priced budget option, especially tied with Game Pass.
Yes, exactly. You still get
like,
next gen stuff.
Yeah. Like, I'm from fucking Kentucky. I'm from one of the poorest states in the country. Like, you know, a lot of people here, their option is like when the median income in this state is like, I think like $23,000 or something like that. Like, you are going to need like budget options for a lot of people to even experience the art that you are putting out there. So I'm really, really grateful for that. But yeah, man, like it's just interesting to see the end of that requirement of parity. Even if we're going to call this a special case, very unique, like, yeah, but we've cracked that door open.
Like
So.
Next Call of Duty is not going to have split screen.
I will say, I
bet.
do think that the dropping the parity requirement is preferable to the alternative.
Yes.
Like, if the option is you can't have split screen on the Series S, or you can't have Baldur's Gate on the Series
Xbox
S.
at all.
I'm sure someone on Series
Like,
S will take
But
the
I'm
L
saying
on that,
even
whatever.
right, at that point it's like, well, I want to play the game so I can play online with a friend still or whatever. I do think it's the preferable alternative. It shows that they're willing to bend and work to keep the thing still somewhat in the realm. And I do think that's like that to me shows more of a we want to take care of all of our people than we're just going to do the X version so that our X users can have it.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, because if we're talking about this being like the budget option for like an increasingly economically crunched society, people will be able to play Baldur's Gate this way.
So honestly, the best use for an Xbox Series S, in my opinion, is as an emulator machine.
That too.
Not wrong.
We're gonna talk about that. Okay.
Just saying. I'm
Charles
just throwing it out there
Martinet
either, man.
was just assassinated if we're talking about this.
Yeah.
What
That's
is
how
that?
they got JFK, dude.
He had a copy of Pokemon Red on his iPhone. JFK had the first modded PSP. You know what they did there? They shot
I'm
him.
now really concerned that there's a window right there.
Yeah.
Is this why you invited me on, John?
All of
I'm
us
not
are near windows
I'm
except
not gonna say
CJ, who's
anything.
in the middle of the town
I'm in
square.
the middle of the fucking West, bro. Wi-Fi is good here. I have gangrene.
So
I'm away from wokeism. All right.
I've
did
never
we wanna-
had a hot Cheeto in my life.
did we want to do Keeley security?
Oh, there's nothing to say other than it's very funny that
It's so
fucking
funny
somebody
to
stormed the
see.
stage again. Like they learned fucking
This is
nothing.
why-
Here's the thing, though. There is something to be said about this, right? Like as somebody who's dealt with security in the past, like this is how people you know, this is going to sound dramatic, but this is how people get fucking hurt or killed,
Right.
right? Like, you know, some asshole runs up there with a gun or a knife or a fucking bomb.
This is a really shitty and scary time to be like any kind of public figure.
Yes, it absolutely is.
And there's a ton of like really extreme like political like extremism within the gaming like fandom sphere.
Did you say
So-
extremism?
I don't have a word right now. I don't know. Fuck.
Extremism.
Extremism. That makes more sense. That is how you pronounce that word.
You silly little goose. What did you
Sorry.
say?
First off, I've had a good amount of whiskey.
I had 2 beers. I know how to say things.
And
Come
I'm
on.
also reading the voice to text on the fucking nursing home that has my mom right now hostage.
All right.
So
Everything okay?
no, it's fine. Nothing's been okay for weeks. It's fine.
Derek,
You know what,
buddy,
pronounce
hey,
words.
hey, Derek, do you gotta go? You gotta roll?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
That's where
It's her problem right now, not mine.
But yeah, no, like, I mean, that motherfucker could have had a knife and he could have like stuck it in Keely's ribs, right? Like, I mean, you know, this shit is dangerous. Like, this shit gets people hurt. And
Keely could have ate that dude.
Not if he's got a fucking weapon on him. And, you know, like.
Keely could have unhinged his jaw like a snake.
Like a snake and just a whole one bite.
John,
Yeah.
hold up. To your point, though, it's your point. Let me add really quickly. We've seen it before. People are fucking annoying at these fucking game things in general. Ever since the Cyberpunk, like, you're amazing, whatever bullshit, everyone's trying to get one word in they're trying to get their 15 seconds at these things. I don't know, like every E3 had that one guy in the audience go, yeah, you know, yell something to get attention. This is no different, right? It's just one of those things where, I mean, obviously,
yeah,
in your case, it's a more extreme example, just because someone actually stormed the fucking stage.
Oh, hey, Nick, what's up, buddy?
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, you were saying.
No, that's not right. It's like the next step in like. People,
there's not much to say, but like people fucking said that this would happen again if they didn't increase security. And now it's happened a second time. So now because it's happened a second time, people are going to be rushing with. Yeah, people are going to rush.
Here's the thing. It's too fucking late now. Like I have no doubt that they'll up their security now, but you guys know how fucking stupid people are. People will repel from the.
Why are the public allowed to this shit?
To get their fucking 5 seconds, right?
Why are the public allowed at this shit and not? And why is it not like an invite thing?
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, these
should really be like press and dev events, not fucking for any rando.
E3 was press and dev only. Remember that? The good
golden age. Yeah.
Oh man. And they still cried over stupid shit. Yeah.
Yeah. There's plenty of times where like that stuff's like where like, but yeah, it's shit like this. Either have crazy ass security to protect your presenters, or like make it invite only. You know?
Don't have the fucking public in there. Like,
yeah.
And I think that both are
the
like,
fucking InfoWars
look,
kid should never have been able to get up on stage.
Look, they need to have better security, period, regardless of whether or not this thing is open to the public. But if this is what's going to happen, what is the point of opening the shit? Because Gamescom wasn't always open to the public, right? Right. So like to me, the all the fucking negatives vastly outweigh the positives here. Like, and you know, like we all rag on Keely, haha, Jeff Keely, you know, and it's all a big joke. But at the same time, like, I don't want anything bad to happen to Jeff Keely, and nobody else should either. And you know, and we're fucking lucky that this guy didn't roll up there and like fucking try to hurt him or something. Like, what if some asshole who's got a beef with Jeff Keely or anybody else had run up onto that fucking stage with a weapon? Like, you know, so I hope that this is a fucking wake up call for Keely and the entire industry as a whole to have better security at these, like Keely especially, because both incidents have happened at his shows.
Oh, sorry. You're right. I think of the Game Awards. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
I thought
like both of these have happened.
And we know that it was emboldened by that event because the dude got up and yelled about Bill Clinton again, and it was like, I'm doing the meme, you know.
Get some new material first of all.
I don't think so people say that. I listened to it over and over, and I didn't hear Bill Clinton. I just think I just heard him say, we want to play GTA 6.
I haven't watched the clip. I didn't care, but.
Okay, but yeah, like I
care, but you know what I mean.
And look, all credit to Jeff Keely for just rolling with the punches and getting on with the show, but this does not need. It shouldn't have happened a second time. It is, and unfortunately, it is going to happen a third time.
Gamers are used to being, you know, called disappointments. He can't really like scold them or anything. So like, you know, what are you gonna do here? Like, what's
and you know, Delaby makes a great point in chat. People are not going to want to get on the fucking stage with him.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here's my thing, and it's twofold. One, the reason why, like, there's times where people, like, and don't misunderstand what I'm saying, John, when I say what I'm about to say, because I'm 100% on board with you, but there's times where, like, people will say things and people are like, okay, you're overreacting. It's not really as dangerous as you make it, whatever. I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry, we are talking about gamers. We are talking about a group of people someone who is unaffiliated with a game company will announce that they have found out that that game company is delaying a game by 3 months, and that unaffiliated person will get death threats by this group of people because they're so fucking unhinged.
If you pay any attention to like media and reporting in this space, like there's aside from fucking AI, right? Like getting sites to lay people off, there is a reason why gaming journalism has been one of the worst gigs.
So many gaming journalists. I do not know one, like, CJ, you genuinely might be the exception. I do not know one who has never gotten a death threat.
I'm not a fucking journalist, bro. I'm not that public facing.
You've done enough.
This is the most public. I hate this shit.
I'm not even a games journalist, and I've gotten multiple death
like
threats.
you're to give you an idea, you're as close as it gets. You have to get to your level of someone who's like, I'm literally not a games journalist. I just review shit for fun now and again.
Right.
To find that, if you are a dedicated, I do not know one person.
If you were on the beat trying to make this your career,
who has never gotten a death threat. I don't know one.
You're braver than like the troops.
So now we have
that's
a
not hard.
situation-
It's easy to be braver than the
So
troops.
now you have a situation where people are emboldened to do a public thing relating to their favorite games. So we're gonna come to the Game Awards. Now they're gonna award which game wins Game of the Year. We just had a whole fucking to-do because someone came on Twitter and pointed out how, as a black person, it is really hard for them to play Baldur's Gate 3 and constantly deal with the racism that comes at them. And it got to the point where they were brigaded, community notes got involved and fucking try and flag their shit, although they were putting false stuff. Like, it was a whole ass thing. You're telling me if Baldur's Gate doesn't win, there's not one human who's willing to rush the stage and make a whole big to-do about it, drop racial slurs about how it's because of the liberal attack someone over it. You're saying that's impossible? And two, and this is the other part that concerns me, for the people running these events, not necessarily Jeff specifically, but all the people who are involved in the back end, are there people who are looking at this and they're like, oh, this is free publicity?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And if that's the case, it doesn't matter how much certain people want it to happen or want it to be stopped with security and everything. Someone else is going to make sure there's an avenue for it to happen, and it's going to keep going until it goes wrong.
Mm-hmm. And let's take this all the rest of the way. Like Gamescom is in Europe, so this is less of an issue for Gamescom specifically. But like, if you are hosting events in the United States and your security is that lax, like it could be a fucking baking convention, and you run the risk of being the target of a mass shooting. That's just welcome to America. Like that's you know it can happen at the grocery store.
So now you're bringing in a group of people who
are even more unhinged than normal.
Are far more than the average person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's concerning.
So yeah, Keely, please get your fucking security shit together, man. Come on. People shouldn't be able to walk the stage like this.
Plenty to pay for it. Just shell it out.
Not to be the Judd Apatow like Will Smith tweet, but like they could have killed him.
Hire me, I'll do it.
He won't hire you, John.
Hire John.
He won't hire you. He might hire you if he thinks you're gonna get stabbed in the process, but
that's fine.
I don't think he likes you.
You have to send him like a demo tape and be like, "I will get stabbed for you, Jeff.
I will do that.
I will get stabbed for you, all in the name of my Dorito Pope. I will get stabbed for you."
Apparently, Moo was wanting to come down here to see me so bad that she was like pawing at the door. So
I love Moo.
Can I just say randomly, by the way, I literally, because my kids have seen pictures of Moo, so they literally know who John is via Moo. Like I was telling them earlier how like, yeah, guys, I'm going to be doing a podcast tonight. So, you know, I'm going to say goodnight and you're going to lie down, blah, 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 blah. And like, who you knew with? I was like, oh, my friend such and such and such. And John, you know John, he owns Moo. And they're like, oh, Moo. And they started fucking referencing pictures and shit. And I'm like, yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that fucking ottoman over there.
Moo, what do you think of Jeff Keighley's like, you know, need for increased
Moo's
security?
not thinking. Moo doesn't do a lot of that.
Moo, what do you think about the parody on the Xbox Series S? What do you think, Moo?
What's that? Xbox has no games? Moo. What?
She literally just farted.
There.
That's her response.
That answers that's still an answer. That's still
yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
now that we've Jeff
Charles
Keighley
Martinet.
will never hear us right.
You know what they say? Sony Hard's what Microsoft.
Okay.
The best part is I'm drinking water. I don't have an excuse.
Stop that. Then dehydrate yourself.
Stop hydrating immediately.
Maybe
Well, look
that's
at that.
it.
Your brain's getting too. Your
Until
brain-
you look like Mortal Kombat 9 Liu Kang, you're too hydrated. That man hasn't had a sip of water in years.
I haven't had a carb since 2004.
Rob Liefeld looking titties.
Anyway,
Anyway,
what's next on the agenda there, Derek?
our
Producer man.
next on the agenda. So we all got jump scared earlier this week.
Chucky M himself.
Dude, we saw Nintendo post a fucking text on a background image with important update about the Mario
Oh
series.
yeah, for a minute I was like, no.
and the
Mario
first
died.
sentence was, and the first sentence is like, Charles Martinet has voiced Mario for a long time, and every one of us was immediately like, oh, he fucking died. He didn't. He's retiring basically.
Donkey Kong was shot in New York.
What we genuinely know is he's going to step back from voicing Mario. That he is not the voice of Mario in Super Mario Wonder, which a lot of people were guessing based on a couple voice clips. And Martinet is stepping into a new position of Mario ambassador. What this sounds like to me and to a lot of other folks who are semi keyed in on things is it genuinely sounds like Martinet is probably retiring. Basically,
He's retiring. Like, he
he's
just wants to
67 years
enjoy
old.
his old
He's
age.
stepping back, and the Mario ambassador thing is a way for Nintendo to keep him on payroll and on call for like PR events.
They
you know?
got him in a glass case.
Yeah,
He
he's
is Mario.
Here's
He
a
is.
Here's the check. If we want to bring you out to an event, we're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna pay you some money. We want to bring you out to an event. You come out, and otherwise you go just do your shit.
yeah, that's what it is.
And
you know?
honestly, good for him.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This had to happen eventually. The man's been
Right.
Mario for ages. He's 67. He was eventually going to stop voicing Mario. I'm a lot happier it happened because he's enjoying retirement than because he fucking died.
Right. He's been Mario since Mario's Fundamentals.
Well, and, like,
wow.
That's real. I own.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know.
Some of the takes that I've seen about this are really, really irritating. It's like people are mad at him for
I think
retiring.
a lot of people are more less. I don't think I've seen people mad at him, but I've seen people who have like kind of worked it up in their heads that Nintendo is forcing him out,
Yeah, I don't like.
which I
don't know.
don't think is. I mean, again, like that man
No,
is
of course
so
not.
beloved
Once
in NOA.
again, gamers.
Right? But like
They're
Martinet
so
is
mad they're gonna slap Jeff Keighley
They-
on stage for it.
They yes, exactly. They
Martinet-
have to have a villain, and it's like there's not always a villain. The
Yeah,
villain
sometimes a
here is-
67-year-old man wants to retire.
Sometimes an old guy just wants to go fucking sip a Mai Tai on
Yeah.
the beach.
You can actually hear how much harder the Mario voice has gotten for him to do over, especially the last few years. And like every nerd worth their salt knows trivia shit about like Mark Hamill not wanting to voice the Joker because of how hard it is on his vocal cords. Like none of this should be new information to us.
Weird because Mario's been more vocal lately.
Yeah.
In a lot of games. How many spin-offs have we gotten since like Odyssey? Right?
Well, a lot of them have reused voice clips. Is the crazy thing.
even really.
Yes,
Interesting.
like
Also-
Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Oh,
I don't
and
think there's a single original line in
I'm
there.
sorry. You're right. He also voices Wario.
Like
That's
like
what
half
I
the
was gonna
cast.
get out. He
Yeah.
does Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi.
He's
And
the
what I was gonna
fucking
get at
Hank
is,
Azaria of fucking
let me
Mario.
tell you, as someone who does voices, now mind you, I'm sure he's obviously far more practiced and trained.
Right,
in doing
because he's
them.
also Parthenax.
But the Wario
Yes, he
and
is.
Waluigi
Wait.
voices.
What?
You
Yeah,
didn't know
Mario
that?
is Parthenax.
He's
in Skyrim.
Parthenax.
That's
You
Charles
didn't know
Martinet.
that?
I don't think so.
You can look it up,
110%.
but
All three of us agree with it. Why would we lie to you?
John, why would we make that up?
That's a stupid thing to make up. I would have
That
said
was
wild,
one of the
dude.
first things people pointed out when the argument about like should Chris Pratt voice Mario, and people be like, "Did you really just want to listen to that high falsetto voice for an hour and a half?" And it's like
If
he's
Bill
a
Farmer
literal.
can be goofy. Like,
Well,
But
and of
what I'm saying-
course-
no. But what it
That's
is like
nuts.
he's an actual trained voice actor. Like
Yeah.
know he can do other voices.
he's the voice of
right?
Mario's dad in that movie.
He is.
I think it's
and
hard.
I think it's apropos, by the way.
It's great, but I think it's hard not to like look at all of of this going on, right? The fact that more and more Mario games have been reusing clips rather than getting new acting, the fact that the new stuff sounds harsher than it used to, right? Like, I just think this is hard on him. It's a hard voice to do consistently.
And I was bringing up the Wario voice because even for me, the Wario voice, like,
you want to do the Wario. You got to get down in there.
Yeah,
and think about every new Wario game, he's got to record that whole goddamn thing.
There's a lot more dialogue.
That wears on you when you're older.
Dude, you have got to clench your fucking vocal cords to do the Wario, man. That's hard.
Like, he actually says
yeah, he sure the fuck does.
But that's the thing.
But yeah, so it's
hate Wario.
I love this motherfucker. But yeah, so like it's gonna be curious. I think there's gonna be a lot of interest. Obviously, people are like, "Oh my god, they're gonna use fucking Chris Pratt." No, they're not. That's not how this works.
It's a funny joke to say.
I think a lot of people mean it though. A lot of people mean it,
and they're stupid.
Come on.
Yeah, they are.
Who's the funniest like person that can recast as Mario? Troy Baker. Mamma mia!
It's gonna be fucking Mercer.
We got a situation.
Did everyone here see the Ben Starr audition tape?
Yes, of course I did.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
It's magic. Get the fuck out of here.
It's Mario.
I fucking love Ben.
The world does not deserve that, man.
But it's going to be interesting to see who takes over, because I think there's a question of like, do we get a new like Mario for 20 years, or is this somebody who's going to keep getting recast?
Fuck up, Josh.
I don't know.
Bob Hoskins, we go full circle.
Shut the fuck
Because
up.
Nintendo does not, like, the gaming industry is not always consistent. It's actually kind of a rarity for one person to be an iconic character for this long.
I don't know anyone else who lasted this long. Think of like,
Kiryu from Yakuza. Oh, maybe
in Japan.
You're talking about in Japan.
It's different.
They keep that shit. In America, though,
in Japan, they retire characters when the VA dies because they don't do that.
That long and has kept it.
The
closest we got. And even then, you got the Kiefer Sutherland situation.
I love Kiefer so much.
I do. Anyway. But I'm saying that's as close as I can think of.
How many VOs has Sonic gone through since he talked? Do you know what I'm saying?
A ton. I mean,
and even now in like the animated series, they got a new one. They replaced Roger Craig Smith. Isn't that crazy? He's been Sonic for like more than 10 years, and
he's still an active voice actor. It's not like he it's one thing when it's something like the Critical Role crew getting so big that they just don't have time for roles anymore.
Right.
But like aside from fucking Mercer and Bailey, because they just live for this shit.
Right.
But,
they're genuine nerds. They do it for fun.
I mean, they all are, but but like it's I have such a hard time. And it's hard because, like, I can think of so many times.
I think that Bigwigs actually just came up with the only other real answer I could
Haley Joel Osment to Sora is. And even then, that's nowhere close, but it is somebody with a consistent...
Right. Yeah. And they had to literally change the story as he was getting... Like, he's got to be older than this.
That's because you're right. What? Hayden Panettiere is no longer voicing Kyrie. Half the fucking cast is no longer relevant, so they got rid of them. Who talks about fucking David Boreanaz anymore? Why the fuck was he ever in a Kingdom Hearts game?
Right.
It's crazy. I forgot. Half of the cast was fucking Disney Channel like people. And
we no longer have Lance Bass as Sephiroth.
That's crazy. Haley Joel Osment's the only one.
Hang on, what?
I cannot believe that Lance Bass.
Kingdom Hearts 1, Lance Bass was Sephiroth. He is the OG Sephiroth. He's the first official voice of Sephiroth was Lance Bass.
If you go and you just listen to his voice lines without any background, it's fucking hilarious.
And
hey, good night, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow.
What's his name? Steve. Shit, I'm blanking, but he played Jason on General Hospital, and I know because for several years I watched General Hospital. Don't
David Boreanaz was Squall. Isn't that crazy? Jesse Carney was
I watched it when I was in high school. My parents would watch it every night, and they would take
Bro,
it to
fucking
living room
Disney
TV.
was on some different
shit. So either I
shit,
watched that shit or I watched nothing. So fuck it, I watched it, and then eventually I Stockholm syndrome myself into it.
That's crazy that he's still Sora, and he probably will still be Sora.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I forgot.
Like, I can think of so many characters and roles where I consider the voice acting work on a character to be iconic, and then that character gets recast, right? Like Paul Mercier as Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil 4 getting recast with Mercer in 6 and then just recast a bunch of times after that. is insane to me, given how much Paul Mercier is Leon Kennedy in my head.
Yeah.
TJ Rotolo as Frank West in Dead Rising is like, again, like an iconic voice to a gaming character.
For me, it's still Roger Craig Smith. He's Sonic to me.
And who I just brought up as far as General Hospital, jokes aside, Steve Burton is his name. He was Cloud until Remake. They got someone else for Remake. But he was Cloud all the way until then, and then he still acts. He still actively acts. They just got another voice.
That's crazy.
Again, it's something they do in video games. Martinet really is like
Mario.
The exception to the rule.
He's still Mario. Like, it's just funny. He's the Mario ambassador because that dude is like so, he is still linked to that character. Yeah. Is he also Mario? Like, I doubt they get like a Japanese dub, right? Is he Mario in every market?
I don't know.
He almost has to be. I don't know.
He's not really speaking full sentences in English.
I mean, if you really think, if you think about it, like it's a big, like it's a huge deal, right? Like we're talking about the voice actor for the most iconic video game character in history.
And Nintendo didn't do that with anybody else, right? Like Link famously changes voice actors every fucking game, you know?
When like the idea that Nintendo would force him out is hilarious when you consider that they literally made up a job for him.
Yeah.
After they were
like, a Mario ambassador. I'll be a Mario ambassador. I like Mario.
Like that. Like they just want to continue paying him because they love him that much.
Right. They're literally saying like, we get it, bud. But you are this guy. Everyone loves you. We're
that
just
guy,
gonna.
You are a PR asset. Still.
Again, here is some money.
Cynically,
we're just asking where. Maybe a half dozen times a year, we have you come out, do a quick little bit, 2 minutes, you go off on your life, and we're gonna pay you.
Show up to this convention, show up for launch day for a Mario game
for a second, and then there.
Right, I don't know how much more you can take care of the guy.
Laura Bailey will do the Mario voice in secret, in like the shadows, and then the Charles Bournet will be the face. Charles Bournet will be the face. It's a Milli Vanilli situation. That's crazy to me, bro. That's crazy to me. How many? You're right. How many performances changed? What is it? Sonic one was Jaleel White, Ryan Drummond, Roger Craig Smith, and then now whatever blank. Man, crazy.
He's had so many. Yeah, it's just it's crazy. Like it's the gaming and that's a whole separate thing, right? Right. The world of like gaming, like voiceover work needs to be better to voice actors, right? And like
Dragon Ball Z cast has been like they've been their characters in everything. It's just I'm saying. You think about
the current cast is, but like the old. I mean, there's been like multiple different.
I understand.
But it's just weird. Like anime and video gaming, like VO is so inconsistent, in terms of like replacing people and. The paying conditions aren't great is the other thing. Like that's why we're like, of course it will never be Chris Pratt because you would never pay Chris Pratt rates in gaming or like
they couldn't afford to
anime.
Keep him on retainer like that.
You wouldn't do that, So it's gonna be somebody new and smaller who Nintendo doesn't have to pay a shitload to, right? It'll be somebody who becomes a big star through it potentially, but it's weird. It's weird too because I don't have a good good sense of how Nintendo picks their voice actors, right? It's not like at this point we understand Square is going for British theater actors, especially, right?
Sometimes,
as often as they can,
No, it's either that or they're kind of grabbing whoever. Listen. Like y'all, consider myself a Square Enix content creator. I've worked with them many a time. I love their games. I will even love their games that I'm going to make fun of. Specifically what I'm about to make fun of. Trials of Mana. I thought that remake slapped ass. I love Trials of Mana remake. I put so much time into it. There were choices.
Uwu? Is that the Uwu game?
No.
You know what? Here's the best part about it. I don't even hate.
Is Trials of Mana that one?
You know what's the best part?
up there.
I don't hate Charlotte's voice. And I'm still saying that because this is the game that had one of the spirits that you encounter come up and go, "Oh, I saw you guys fighting from far away. It's good to see you.
Oh my god.
How's everybody doing?"
I actually love that though. I love that.
But it was so out of left field. We just fought a fucking ghost on a ghost ship. Where did you come from?
Like,
Josh,
Yeah.
incredible.
Josh, I didn't know this about you. I didn't know that you like Charlotte's voice.
I didn't say I
know
like it. I'm saying I'm ambivalent. Like
No,
that
you
one
literally
isn't
said
even
you
the
have
one
no
that.
problem with it.
Yeah, I have no problem with
You
it.
should have a problem
I'm
with it.
literally ambivalent. Like it's just there. They wanted. To
I
sound
literally
like a
had to
little
start
kid.
my game over once you.
I've
opened
heard
your fucking mouth.
I've heard
kept her on
so
my
much
team.
worse.
I kept.
But
her on
then
my team.
again,
It
I
didn't
watch
bug me.
anime, so like I'm inflicted with worse regularly.
I'm
so.
used to. That's what I'm saying. Like to me, I like a lot of people. I'm like, I'm sorry, I watch too much anime where they do little girl ooh voices to be bugged by it. But it's kind of there. It exists. But there were several voices I was like.
My question about the Mario thing: are they gonna announce who's voicing Mario and Wonder, or is this gonna be one of those things where like no one cares?
I don't
or thinks
know.
about it?
I don't think they want to announce it because I think that right now, whoever's voicing him in Wonder is a trial run. I don't think they want anybody to be a face as big as Martinet was until they've had some fucking time to be sure it's going to work
Just
out.
crazy to think about. Martinet
It's
was
a different time.
I
crazy.
think what I would see happening would be not making it a big ordeal until after Wonder drops.
and wait
but
till the
then-
sequel or the follow up or whatever.
No, making it a thing about a month and some change later with Mario RPG. And now we've got a couple of credits like
Well,
this
is he
is our
voiced in
Mario.
Mario RPG?
I would not in the original game, obviously.
But
but I
no,
would-
what I'm saying is in the
I
remake.
wouldn't be shocked if they put voice in there.
Yeah, like
I also think we're just at a point in the industry these days where like people who are voicing like major roles are being pressured to keep things really low key and under wraps until a little after release. And like we've had this great run of like first the Final Fantasy 16 crew and now the Baldur's Gate 3 crew like having a lot of fun with their social media presence after the game is out, after their characters are discovered, and like leaning into the memes, like having fun, being nerds online. And like, you know, that's happening because the companies are pressuring them to shut the fuck up before then. So like whoever's voicing Mario, I don't know what kind of leash they're going to be on afterwards, but I promise you that right now
whoever it is though is doing a great fucking
there's
job.
an alarm
I
that
could
goes
tell.
on if they even type the letters TWI on their keyboard. Like an alarm goes off at Nintendo HQ, and a
Bowser slaps him.
a fucking lawyer in a gray like fucking herringbone suit like flies out to his house immediately.
Yeah, but the other thing is, I think I see the same kind of thing happening. I think Doug Bowser has kind of leaned into that whole let's be amiable, let's be friendly, let's be personable thing as well. So I think I agree. I don't think we'll know before Wonder comes out. I think that shit is like it's guarded like the fucking Coke recipe.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the game's going to come out. And then somewhere between there and Super Mario Wonder, I think they're going to start trotting out their new Mario. They'll probably have some sort of like thing between Charles Martinet as a Mario ambassador and him, like handing him a mushroom, some fucking chintzy shit. Where it's like he's handing off the role to the new Mario.
I could see that
something.
being like a thing they pull as like a PR stunt.
They'll do
Still Mario in
something
the
like
game.
that. Right.
Yeah.
They actually, like, for the second time ever, kill Mario publicly.
Crucify Mario. 3 days later, he comes back with a different voice.
Mario.
Or they
Well,
do the
he
Mystery
was-
Science 3000 thing, where
Do not
Crow
remember, he
has a
was
different voice.
literally murdered.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay?
I remember that. But like, no, they do the Mystery Science Studio 3000 thing where Mario has a canonical stroke and his voice changes, like Crow did in the show. That's a good reference. That's a good pull. You guys have to come on. That's
I
good.
love MST3K,
Yes,
so it is a
yes.
good pull. It
I
is a
gotta
good
ask you a
pull.
question.
And Crow's my favorite character. So.
I could not care or not care. I could not tell that the person in the Mario Brothers Wonder trailer was not Charles Martinet.
Me either.
I
couldn't
wasn't
tell that.
paying that close attention, but apparently a lot of people who paid very close attention and cared a lot to think about it
Nerds.
were able. I mean, yes, but like I'm not in a
Listen.
position to point a finger. But people clearly figured out and were really intent on like, this is fucking not him. And they were correct. Which is a weird thing to like conspiracy theorize about if you're not hearing like major differences. I don't know. I think also like the Mario voice is a thing. It's kind of like when you get a new Bugs Bunny. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna do their best Mel Blanc impression, right?
Yeah, but there's only been 2 guys. You know what I'm saying? That's different. There's only really been 2 guys to do it.
That's the point, right? Is like whoever
Eric
is gonna
Giles
come.
doing it now, but you're right. He's doing a good Mel Blanc impression.
Yeah,
But it's like
whoever comes after this is going to, or it's like fucking Matthew Lillard just doing his best Casey Kasem. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is going to be
It's-
somebody who's going to do their absolute fucking best to replicate to the best of their vocal abilities, like the general area that
I want
Martinet inhabited.
Mario who sounds like a Matt Berenger from The National. That's what I want. I want like a deep voice, like woohoo.
Let's,
Yes.
Hey, you want a fucking New England fucking plumber
Bobby
guy?
Cannavale will play Mario, and he's like,
Yeah.
like that. Tom Waits is Mario.
James Gandolfini.
Tom Waits
Yeah.
is Mario.
You want to get Michael Ironside?
Oh,
That's
Michael
Mario.
Ironside would be fucking fantastic.
Michael
dude.
Ironside is Mario.
I think you're
He's not
close with the
fucking-
Iron, but I'm gonna go with a Jeremy Irons.
Okay.
Irons
Mario personally.
Yeah, you could do H. John
It's-
Benjamin.
Wow. Or
Damn
hey,
it, Norm died too soon.
Listen.
No.
we could keep it Italian,
no.
and I'm sure Pacino. I'm sure they could write a
No,
good
no,
check for
PJ.
Pacino.
That's why he was at the Game Awards.
PJ, no,
Wow.
it's got to be Christopher Walken as Mario.
Oh my
It's-
God.
Wow!
Hey,
Al,
Mario.
it's not. You know what? We'll come back to it.
I'm just we're all doing our best impressions, and at that point she'll be like, "Oh, Yoda will fucking play Mario." At that point, so I can just do a Yoda. I can just do my Yoda voice then, all right? I can just do my Yoda.
John's every dude's Robert De Niro is gonna be Mario.
Exactly.
No. If you're gonna do the Robert
The
De Niro
best
face, you gotta
Quentin Mario.
no, Derek, you can't open the mouth. You gotta go.
You got to do a little bit of the fuckboy mouth with it
Squinting
though.
Bobby, the best. That's like the, oh my God, this is how men bond. This is how men bond.
Talking to me.
There we go. That's a perfect. That's a perfect.
I already. I
Are you
mean,
talking to
so
That's a
So-
perfect.
so sadly.
I hate you, John.
John, that's perfect. You look like
John, you
trained
look
your
like
cat
you're
in the toilet.
squeezing out a particularly wet fart right now.
Are you talking to me?
That's so good, man. You look like
Sadly, he can't do
Do I-
it.
do I
R.I.P.
mute you? Am I here to
But
fucking entertain you?
I did go viral for
Wrong
being
character.
Gilbert Gottfried. We could
Oh,
have
yeah.
Gilbert Gottfried Mario. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
9/11. I got fired from the Affleck because I tweeted about.
I think that was over the tsunami, not 9/11,
something.
wasn't it?
No, sorry, he did 9/11 jokes on Norm's podcast. It was
Yeah.
like, I missed the times when the news was nicer. Instead of hearing about airplanes crashing in the anyway.
Let's go.
Yeah. I took a bite of a mushroom.
Holy shit,
I
I'm
gotta
so
tell
big.
you, I was seeing colors that didn't exist.
Hold on. What do you mean? My princess is in another castle. So you're telling me I came all this way, I went through this, I murdered that large turtle by letting him fall in lava. And my princess is in another castle.
It singed all the hair out of my ass crack.
Mama fucking me.
That is a fucking good
Mamma
one, dude.
mia.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
But yeah, Nintendo's not brave enough to do anything like that. So
They can't because they'll get fucking
Right.
crucified.
yeah.
Right, unfortunately.
So yeah, whoever they get is
that
just
was
gonna do their best Charles Martinet impression, and
Right.
it's gonna be extremely fucking close. And people are gonna be like, people who like fucking nerds are gonna know the difference, right?
Right.
And then like your average person isn't gonna notice or care. So like that's fucked. But like again, does anyone
It's
notice
just
the
the
difference?
truth.
Does anyone notice the difference in Bugs Bunny voices over the years? Like
No.
only nerds, you know?
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah, but you're a
I've got them all
nerd!
written down.
I noticed that
Show me
Garfield's
the
voice
list.
changed. So he used to be voiced by Lorenzo Music,
Okay,
and now
John.
he's voiced by Frank Walker. And
Okay, John, since you've got them written down, who are the Bugs Bunny voices?
That's for me to fucking know.
Exactly.
oh my
Weather
God.
boy.
Hey, Jason Bourne, relax.
Vin Diesel was Vin Diesel was one of them.
Oh, Vin Diesel's Mario for sure. Then that's what they're gonna do.
Oh,
Nintendo's gonna announce
Vin Diesel's
proper
Mario would be
promotion.
fucking awesome.
So
Vin
Arc
Diesel,
2
you could
is
tell
in
me
Arc
Vin
2.
Diesel's Italian and I'd believe it.
Arc 2. No, okay. We're not gonna get
I live.
Vin
by-
Diesel.
What is Vin Diesel? Yes.
He's he's multiracial. All right.
Yes.
He's Latino when you need him to be. He's Italian when you need
Right.
to be. He's
Right.
black when you need him to be. He's like the
Right.
perfect trifecta of man. All right. He is no race. He is this
He's
dude.
the three kinds of dude that there
No,
are.
he is no. You know when you're saying I don't care if you're purple, that's Vin Diesel.
right.
Mario just busts in. He's like, I live my life a quarter rainbow
So
road at a time.
Arc 2 isn't an Arc game, it's a Mario game. All the dinosaurs are just Yoshis. Dinosaurs are just Yoshis. That's what the announcement is.
Dude,
It would
like,
be really funny if they announced that Charles
I
Martinet
know.
is voicing Link.
I really want Vin Diesel to voice Mario now because in Mario Kart you could like he could be talking to fucking like Toad. He's like when you're not working at Bowser's, you're working here. Like
Cannot wait for two Mario 2 brothers.
Oh my god, their fucking Don Omar plays in the background. I would love a Puerto Rican Luigi.
You can't tell me Luigi's not Dominican.
No, first of all, canonically Luigi's Colombian because John Leguizamo played him in the live action movie. So that's my point of pride.
Why I said that.
That's my point of pride. No, okay, not all Latinos from New York are Dominicans. They got Puerto Ricans.
Is that,
They got lot of
is that a
Colombians.
thing people think?
No, it's just that there's a
Is
large
that
Dominican population.
is that a
in,
stereotype I was not clued in on?
There's a large Puerto Rican Dominican.
You got to
Colombian
recognize I don't
population.
subscribe to like white people's stereotypes monthly, so I've missed the updates, man.
No. So New York is full of like the Puerto Rican dudes who act black, so they wear like Yankees caps and they yell. They have like an inflection, like as if they were incredible. I love it so much.
So Derek, you may not.
I've seen Manosphere podcasts. So I'm
Derek,
familiar
when I
with the
was
type.
a teenager in my college years, I used to read Dumbfuck Monthly like all the time, and I can tell you right now that yes, that is exactly what most white men think.
Okay,
Every New Yorker's Dominican.
Yes.
I'm surprised most white people know the Dominican Republic's a place, but
Anyway,
Holy shit! It's 10:30 almost.
Mario was
We did
indicted tonight. What a shame.
did we get Mario's mugshot?
Dude, we got Mario's up on RICO charges, bro. Mario's up on RICO charges.
I gotta tell you, man, Waluigi's mugshot was better.
Bro, Lakini's mugshot was fucking despicable. They got him too.
Oh my god. All right, let's wrap this motherfucker up.
Put a bow on it. So yeah, this was not even close to a professional podcast, and that's fine because I had fun.
The president's been
Never is,
arrested.
Derek. Stop trying to make it one.
We needed this. Look, man, I still occasionally try to make this a semi-professional place, but whatever, man. Anyway, I threw a link to the Discord in the chat. Come
Strikers
join.
in MK1?
It's a good place. As a cameo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
AKA the
I threw a
worst
donate link
one.
in the chat where you can help support striking writers and actors. We got fucking, you can donate to us on Twitch by subbing on Twitch or through Patreon to help fund our excursions and new equipment and so forth. That's the money shit.
Josh, you should plug your stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like a minute.
Yes, you absolutely should.
In 1 minute.
Okay, real quick. Hi, my name's hey y'all. I go by Honorian. Honorian / Josh. It's easy enough. You can find me. I'm gonna just link to Twitch, and also, yeah, that's the easiest one. Follow me on Twitch. Hi, I stream shit. No, listen, I'm actually gonna have. Actually, you know what? I will drop on here. I'm going to drop a thing. I hope you don't mind. unless you know what? Give me a sec. I'm gonna talk and grab it from here because I'm just stupid and I know how to do things. The long and short of it. Listen, basically, you can find me on twitch.tv/Norian. You can find me until the fiery death of of Twitter. You can find me on Twitter or X. I'm not gonna call that. You can find me on Twitter as Norian GD for Game Dad. Because I'm the original.
You can find me in the Emerald Mines.
But also, if you want to do me a favor and follow over there, if you like sports ball, because I believe there are some people who like sports ball, I just dropped a link in chat to a new YouTube channel. Starting within the next couple of weeks, me and my oldest son are also doing a sports podcast.
Hell yeah.
Dude the Kid Sportscast. We're going to talk a little bit of everything, but it's going to be the big focus is going to be on NFL, NBA, and WNBA.
Dude, you're in Florida. Let's talk the Heat. Let's talk the Magic.
I'll have you on at some point.
Let's talk the Heat.
But it's just listen. No, we're going to talk all sports for sure. But like I said, the focus will be on NFL, NBA, and WNBA. I fucking love the WNBA. Shout out to my girl Asia Wilson. No, sure. Yo, fucking, I cannot wait. The Vegas Aces are going to roll this year. Okay, I'm done. I had to get that out. But yeah, if you follow there, we're starting a new podcast, and it's very special for me. If I can just have like 15 seconds to share a completely incidental, stupid story. A couple of years ago, my son would do vocal lessons and what have you, and the people who he was doing the vocal lessons with decided to have like a group review situation. They got everyone into a local auditorium, all the different students they had, and everyone, it wasn't like a competition or anything. It was just everyone showing off for themselves, doing singing or playing instruments or dance or whatever it may be. And he was one of the first people to perform that day, and he performed and it was great. But in the middle of it, as a cute little thing, I think this is the spark point of it all, because he had done some other little singing things before, but he did the floss. And, we got like 200 parents there. And so everybody starts laughing. They were laughing, because it's cute. I think he took it as everyone laughing at him. For a couple of years, he had terrible stage fright. Like, he would come in the room while I'm streaming and he would not speak with me unless I'm muted. He would nowhere near the camera. Like, it was just, he was terrified of being in front of people and doing things. Now he's come so much more out of his shell. And he actually brought up the idea of us doing something together. So it's really special for me that we're going to be able to do something together. Two of us put our passions, and it's going to be really fun. So I hope to do some cool shit with it. So if you follow there on YouTube, it'll be on YouTube. We're doing Mondays and Fridays. And then we're also going to put it on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good shit. But yeah, Mondays and Fridays will be the drop days. And yeah, other than that, I stream generally Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Thursdays before this, when I'm not on here, and then Saturdays, Sundays for games at twitch.tv/Anorian. Tuesdays is usually TCG Tuesday. I do either Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! And then Thursdays kind of whatever. And then weekends I do Final Fantasy 14.
Awesome.
Hell yeah,
that's
man.
awesome, dude.
John,
all right,
me the fuck out of here.
Yep, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Because I got to take my tired ass to bed. Everybody, we appreciate you being here. Derek, when are we wrapping up Mortal Kombat 9's stream?
It might not be this weekend. It might have to be next weekend. Working on the details.
Okay, that's fine.
But it'll come. We'll let people know.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Don't forget, Armored Core 6 comes out in like an hour and a half.
It's out. People are playing it.
People are already playing it.
Oh, it's already out?
Well, I like it. Let me know.
If you've got it, I think if it's on Steam at least. I think if you got it on computer, you can click play. I don't know about console.
Okay.
My copy doesn't get here until tomorrow because
it's apparently very, very, very good. So.
Oh God.
It's apparently very good. All right, everyone.
Tomorrow, should I buy it?
Yes, you should. All right. Take care of each other. And hey, kindness costs nothing. We'll see you next week.